Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Novita Eka Tristiana from Universitas Muhammadiyah Pringsewu. Today I would like to present my reflective essay entitled Communicative Competence and its Implication in EFL Teaching. Okay, now let's come to the introduction. Communicative competence is the ability of using the language appropriately and correctly to achieve communication goal. Communication goal is the ability to convey the information and understanding of what information. This reflective essay will focus on communicative competence and its implication in foreign language teaching. There are three topics will be discussed, namely the nature of communicative competence, model of communicative competence, and the relationship communicative competence and language teaching. Okay, the nature of communicative competence. Himes in previous one that uses the term communicative competence refers to knowledge of rule of grammar, vocabulary, and semantics, as well as pattern on social linguistic behavior of speech community. This idea also supported by Canal and Swin and Selsi Murcia in Fitri as W and Lisa that describe communicative competence is the ability to use language correctly, appropriate to the situation and express suitable behavior in culture context of communication. Furthermore, Brown, in 2000, page 245, defines communicative competence as the way of how people use language based on the context, considering the subject, audience, occasion, and purpose of communication. Therefore, competence construct the communicative competence model, such as linguistic, sociolinguistic, and strategic, which two of them concern the functional aspect of communication, and other two reflect the use of linguistic system. Ecstasy et al. In 2017 mentioned that the major model of communicative competence, namely Hives model in 1967, 1972, Canal and Swin's model in 1990, in 1980 and Canal in 1983, Pitchman model in 1990, Cecilia Murcia Donia and Tan's model 1995, and Littlewoods model in 2011. Okay, from the few previous model that have been mentioned, this reflective essay used the description method by using the model proposed by the Celsi Murcia, the revision of 1995. Model that describe the communicative competence for language teacher, the model can be seen as follow. Okay, it consists of discussed competence, sociocultural competence, formulaic competence, linguistic competence, strategic competence, and interactional competence. Well, the relationship of communicative competence and language teaching. Based on the previous explanation that communicative competence contains of two important aspects, thus each other have close relationship, namely structural, grammatical, linguistic, and sociolinguistic competence. Both of those aspects are significant based on language teaching. In my reflection, the language teachers should teach the student about how the concept of achieving communicative competence, because without language form, meaning, and function, there could be no communication. So the implication of the communicative competence in language teaching first, the implication for the English teacher. By implementing the theory of communicative competence, the teacher can enhance their teaching quality in order to achieve of teaching English, namely enable students to communicate in English actively both spoken and written. And second, the implication for the students, by having the communicative competence, the students can improve their English skill and their learning autonomy. Practically, when the students have the communicative competence, they will have good English performance. Okay, so the conclusion. To sum up my reflective essay, the writer highlight that the communicative competence has great contribution in language teaching. As the aims of teaching English as the students have good communicative competence, both spoken and written. Thus, the English teacher should have good communicative competence, which consist of socio-cultural competence, linguistic competence, discourse competence, formulaic competence, and interactional competence, and able to implicate those competencies in order to the students achieve communicative competence. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.